Hello and welcome to Elecspo, and it's time to talk about Chelsea. Frank Lampard is no longer the Blues boss, getting the sack on Monday the 25th of January following an FA Cup victory over Luton Town. Clearly Roman Abramovich isn't asked about the cup. They have won it 5 times since he bought the club. After a bad run of form, it seemed as though the writing was on the wall for Lampard, regardless of whether you think the sack was harsh or not. Personally, I think it is, but it was always going to be too big a job for the inexperienced boss. At the time of recording, it seems all but certain that Thomas Tuchel is going to replace Lampard in the Stamford Bridge dugout, the man who was recently relieved of his duties at PSG. But how will he get on in the Premier League? Well, I can't be bothered to wait, so using Football Manager 2021, I'm going to find out. Using the editor, I've replaced Lampard with Tuchel and handed the German a 5-year deal on a huge £138,000 a week. Let's simulate into the future and see if Thomas Tuchel can thrive where Frank Lampard ultimately failed. Right, so here we are at the start of the simulation. As you can see, the Chelsea manager is no longer Frank Lampard, it is Thomas Tuchel. 46 years old. Look, irrelevant. The media thinks they can come fourth. They'd take that in real day. But we will simulate a year into the future. Let's see how Thomas Tuchel gets on in his first year at Stamford Bridge. Okay, season 1 finished, and as you can see, Thomas Tuchel has gone one better than Frank Lampard in his first year. Frank Lampard came 4th at Stamford Bridge, while Thomas Tuchel has came a wild 3rd. 76 points on the board. They were still nowhere near the champions Manchester City. But a 3rd place finish in the Premier League to ensure Champions League football remains at Stamford Bridge, which is one of the reasons Frank got the sack at Chelsea. They didn't think he was going to keep them in the top 4. But Thomas Tuchel's done it, 3rd in the Premier League, a solid start to life in the Premier League. Let's have a look, see if he signed anyone. I highly doubt it, to be honest. A few names there, but no one of particular interest. Going out, has anyone gone? Baba Rahman's finally gone, that is nice, because people think he probably just works in the catering team nowadays. He's been there that long without playing. Willy Caballero gone, that is quite sad. Charlie Masonda, Danny Drinkwater, he's gone in reality. Olivier Giroud gone. Obviously Thomas Tuchel not a fan of the beautiful Frenchman. Let's have a look at the schedule, see how they got on in the other cups, see if there's been any joy. Well, it hasn't. It was quite a rough start for Thomas Tuchel, although the fixtures were pretty hard. Arsenal at home 0-0, Man United away a 1-1 draw, and then Liverpool in the League Cup was a 1-0 defeat. After that though, they look to have gone on a pretty good run in the Premier League. 6 straight victories until they played Liverpool, where they lost at Anfield. But they made it through the Champions League Group FA Cup. They've progressed to the quarter-final, they got to the semi-final, they got to the final. And they were beaten by Liverpool. Thomas Tuchel must absolutely hate Scousers because they've been the bane of his life in his first season in England. They've knocked them out of both cups and they've only got 1 point off them in the Premier League. A 1-1 draw late on in the season. Champions League, as we say, they got to the quarter-finals where they were beaten by Barcelona 3-1 on aggregate. Not bad. But that FA Cup final, which was earlier in the season, which is interesting, it was mid-season, but whatever. They were level for a minute. Mo Salah gave Liverpool the lead. Hakim Ziyech got one back for Chelsea. Then a minute later, Joel Matip scored again, so never mind. An interesting first year because, he's done a little bit better than Frank Lampard in the league, but Chelsea did make it to the FA Cup final last year, but they should have beaten Arsenal in hindsight. Champions League, they've gone a little bit further, and I can't remember what they did in the League Cup under Frank. Let's have a look at the players, see what system Tuchel's using, see who's impressed. It's a 4-3-3, Jorginho sitting at the base, although he's been a substitute actually. Only started 6 games all season, 38 times off the bench. God, his backside must be warm. Tammy Abraham seems to have been the main man up front. Timo Werner in and out the team, but he's been the top scorer with 20 goals. Christian Pulisic had a great year. Hakim Ziyech had a great year. Kai Havertz hasn't. 50 starts, 3 goals and just 6 assists. Thiago Silva's been a consistent starter. We'll have a look via rank them in average rating. Christian Pulisic, the main man. Hakim Ziyech, excellent season as well. Thiago Silva's done well. Werner's done well. Ben Chilwell's done well. Kai Havertz is the disappointing one. Thomas Tuchel's arrived to try and give the likes of Havertz and Werner a lift, but while Werner's done well, despite being in and out of the team clearly, Kai Havertz just hasn't got going. So that will be a cause for concern for Roman Abramovich and co. Up above at Stamford Bridge in the board, not like in heaven and that. He's still alive. That was a weird thing to say. Anyway, that is the end of the first year. Let's go to the second year. Let's see if Thomas Tuchel can do what Frank Lampard didn't and survive 2 years in charge at Stamford Bridge. Okay, it's the 1st of June 2022, the second season of the simulation. And yet again, Chelsea have came third. They're a little close at the second, which is kind of promising. 75 points on the board. I'm going to check because I feel like that's exactly what they got last season. No, they got 1 point less than the season before, but it was enough to keep them in the top 4 in third position. If you look at the stats, the only Chelsea player that features across the board is Edouard Mendy, who got 19 clean sheets, which is pretty astonishing really. If he played in every game, that's a clean sheet every other game. Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea side looks solid, but still they've been unable to crack the top 2. The dominance of Liverpool and Man City continues. I think Liverpool are in the top 2. Doesn't matter. Let's have a look at the schedule. Let's see how Chelsea have got on. And it was a flying start. In the Premier League, they won their first 5 games to really cement themselves as title contenders, which obviously didn't happen. The League Cup, they made it to the semis where they were beaten by Manchester City. So an improvement in that competition. Champions League, they didn't make it through the group. Who did they have? That's not that hard a group. Atletico Madrid, Ajax and Club Brugge. Or Brugge as apparently it's meant to be called. I'm not sure. Anyway, they didn't make it through. That's quite poor actually. 2 draws with Atletico, a loss to Ajax, a draw with Bruges and a loss to Ajax. They're lucky really that they made it into the Europa League, where they made it to the semis, where they were pretty much hammered actually by Inter Milan. Romelu Lukaku coming back to haunt them. A former Blue. A 4-1 defeat at Stamford Bridge. They were 4-0 down until Mason Mount got one back. It was over by the time they'd even made it into Italy. They also made it to the FA Cup final for the second year in a row, but this time, despite going ahead through Timo Werner, they were beaten 3-1 by Manchester City. So yet again, Christ, this was a good run. From Wednesday the 2nd of February 2022 all the way up until the 3rd of April, they literally won every game they played. It's like a bloody traffic light on go. It's as if it's stuck. We'll have a look at the transfers. So Chelsea haven't won anything. They've come close, but they've spent £140 million. A lot of money spent there. I'm going to go back and see if I haven't missed any. Marcus Llorente arrived for £54 million at the end of the season. They've got Memphis Depay on a free. That's a good deal. They signed Lee Burge. I'm sure he's the ex-Sunderland goalkeeper. And my sources tell me he's actually not very good. My sources, my friend. But you know, anyone can be a source. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's gone for £56 million. And Robin Gerson's £55 million, potentially rising to £70 million. That's a huge deal. And Bayrakada from Antalyaspor, Turkish winger. Gonna be honest, don't know anything about him. Good to see in the year to come though. We'll keep an eye on him. Going out, they've got rid of Loftus-Cheek. Jorginho's gone out on loan. Finally, Victor Moses has gone permanently. Emerson's gone. They've got rid of Kennedy on loan again. Zappacosta's gone on loan again. Ross Barkley's gone on loan again, this time to Spain, which will be nice, I guess. We're only tan. They've sold Lewis Baker. Marco Van Hinkle's finally gone. Billy Gilmore's gone out on loan. Get some minutes for him. Ben Chilwell sold to Manchester City for just £22 million. I think that says it all about Frank Lampard. He wasn't really playing that much. I'm confused about that. I was reading yesterday that Ben Chilwell was actually the only Chelsea signing that they got. That was a Frank Lampard signing. The rest were signed above him. Not players he particularly wanted, but I mean, obviously still agreed to them. But Ben Chilwell was the main one he wanted. And now he's gone already for £22 million. And Callum Hudson-Odoi's gone out on loan. So a lot of change to the Chelsea team. Yet again, it's been 4-3-3. Kai Havertz has improved. That is a positive. 14 goals, 9 assists. With a rating like that, he might actually have been their best player. No, he's not. Hakim Ziyech was just with a 7.28. But Timo Werner been much more a consistent starter. 31 times he started, 9 appearances off the bench with 18. A couple fewer than last time, I think he got 20. Calvert-Lewin's first season's been... He hasn't played a lot of football actually. 12 starts, 11 sub-appearances, 9 goals. And Memphis Depay also hasn't played that much football. 22 starts, 11 goals. What's happened to Tammy Abraham? Tammy Abraham not played much, mainly a substitute. No doubt he'll be leaving soon. Christian Pulisic didn't play the final game, but again, a wonderful season for him. Milan Sarr's been getting in the team, so that's quite an interesting one. Robin Gerson's come in at left back. He's taken the place of Ben Chilwell. And that Turkish lad's done okay actually, in fairness to him. So Chelsea's best player, well it was Kennedy, but he was out on loan. Yet again, Hakim Ziyech up at the top, Kai Havertz performing well, and Timo Werner performing well. So clearly Tuchel's getting a bit more out of these expensive signings. But I mean, the pressure's surely got to be on because he's still spent another, I think it was 190 million, because obviously they got Marcus Llorente as well. Did he even play? Where was Marcus Llorente? See if his name sticks out. Not seeing it, there it is. Marcus Llorente, absolutely crap. 14 starts, 27 appearances off the bench. Spent £50 million on a bloody substitute. Come on Thomas, you're better than that. But that's 2 years down for Thomas Tuchel at Chelsea. Let's go into the third year. Surely he's got to win something this year, otherwise the pressure will be seriously on. Okay, it's year 3 and your eyes do not deceive you. Chelsea have yet again came third. They just seem stuck in third. Although they are closer, they've improved 82 points. They were only 7 shy of Manchester City, who won the title. So there's been improvement in that sense, but league position, Chelsea is still third, still comfortably qualifying for the Champions League. But have they won any trophies? Thomas Tuchel's still in charge. Let's go straight to the schedule. Again, it was a bright start of the season, cementing themselves as early title contenders. League Cup straight away, they were knocked out by Man City, 2-2 they drew, and then lost on penalties. Kai Havertz missing. Oh, the Twitter trolls will be loving that. FA Cup third round, they were beaten by Liverpool. Some hard draws Chelsea are getting. Kai Havertz with a goal, so that's kind of nice. Champions League, they made it out of the group this time. Who did they play in the group? Başakşehir, Lyon and Napoli, which is probably about just as hard as what they didn't make it through last year. But straight away they were knocked out. Beaten by Barcelona 3-1 on aggregate. And the FA Cup, obviously they didn't make it to the final like they had the 2 previous years. So that's 3 years in charge for Thomas Tuchel and no trophies. If anything, this year they've actually regressed in the cup competitions. While they've got closer in the league, that's probably the only saving grace for the German. Let's have a look at who he signed this year. £175 million spent. And they also added Vinicius Jr. for 103 million. That'll be a Chelsea record. Gonna go straight at him, see how he's got on. 11 goals, 6 assists, 5 man of the match awards. Pretty solid start for the Brazilian in England. Let's see who else they've got. Tyler Adams from Leipzig, the American midfielder. Don't know who that is. Benjamin Mendy's arrived from Man City. Right. So they sold Ben Chilwell to Man City for £22 million. And they've brought in Benjamin Mendy, a left back, from Manchester City for £22.5 million. For my money, Ben Chilwell's a lot better than Benjamin Mendy, but apparently not according to Chelsea, they've just made a right arse of this. Let's see how he got on. Of course, he might have done well. He hasn't. Played 3 times. Waste of money. Odriozola's arrived. Lissandro Martinez. Marcel Sabitzer, that's a good signing. I imagine he's done quite well. He has, but he hasn't played a lot. And they've got Tete from PSG. Going out, Barkley sold, Jorginho sold, Kennedy's finally left, gone to Tottenham on free. Azpilicueta gone to Barcelona. Edouard Mendy's been sold to Monaco, so I wonder who's been in between the sticks. Maybe Kepa's had a reprieve. Milan Sarr sold, despite featuring so much the year before. That's a big one. Hakim Ziyech got into Milan, potentially for £77 million. Tammy Abraham loaned out. And no one else there sticks out. Conor Gallagher's gone to Qatar, which is probably not what he wants. But a lot of changes to this Chelsea team for Thomas Tuchel. Let's go to the schedule. Has he won anything this season? Oh, we've already looked at it. We know he hasn't. Sorry, I'm getting lost in my mind. I'll have a look at the team. Kai Havertz, the main man. An average rating of 7.38 in all competitions. 47 starts, 11 goals and 13 assists. Robin Gosens doing well. Kante's done well. Tammy Abraham's had a brilliant season, the best of the simulation. The only issue is he's been at Dortmund, not at Chelsea. In goal, the better bloke who's on the transfer list, Altay Bayındır, a 25-year-old Turkish goalkeeper, 3 appearances for his country. Quite an average first year. Still kept a can't start. Yeah, he's still there. Where's the point? Just sell him. Christ, he played once in the Premier League last season, got an average rating of 5.5. Awful. Poor bloke. Must be sick of his life. Still, Chelsea sticking with that 4-3-3. Memphis Depay's not playing a lot of footy. Big names here, must be on big contracts, aren't playing much. Timo Bakayoko's still there, man. Calvert-Lewin's didn't start a single game. It just seems to be the age-old problem with Chelsea that they've got massive players, no doubt on huge wages. What's Calvert-Lewin on? 105 grand a week. 105 grand a week never to start a game in all competitions. Not even a pissing League Cup game. Yet they've still splashed out more than £100 million on Vinicius Jr. I don't know. Christian Pulisic seems to be out of the team a bit more, in and out of the team. Unlike years prior where he's been one of the main men. But I think the writing could be on the wall soon for Thomas Tuchel. That's 3 years. Sure, he's kept them in the top 4. No trophies. Big players just drinking money out of the club. Let's go into the 4th year and see what happens. Okay, so here we are, the 1st of June 2024, 4 years of the simulation, and as you can see, Thomas Tuchel is no more. It is now Erik ten Hag who is the manager at Stamford Bridge. Let's see when that change happened. Thomas Tuchel was sacked on the 20th of January 2024 after 3 years and 203 days in charge. Didn't win a single trophy. Yet Erik ten Hag's been there a few months and he's already won 3. I think that's quite harsh. Harsh on Thomas Tuchel. He got them to the Carabao Cup final. I know he wouldn't have. Or would he have? Not sure. Either way, Chelsea have made a positive change already because the new man's won 3 cups, a Europa League, an FA Cup and a Carabao Cup, which tells us that Chelsea didn't make it through the group stage of the Champions League. Let's have a look. AC Milan, Paris Saint-Germain and Apoel Nicosia. Kind of hard group, depends on how good AC Milan were, but they didn't make it through. The League Cup, let's see if... So it was both of them that made it to the final. The first leg was Tuchel's 2-2 draw, and then Ten Hag got the job done at home with a 2-1 win. Marcus Llorente with a last minute goal to seal their place at Wembley. But some dodgy form in the Premier League, particularly in the new year. A loss to Middlesbrough, a draw with Newcastle, a loss to Leeds, and then a draw with Tottenham. The loss to Leeds was the final game for Tuchel. Things have been poor by the looks of things. So that was the 20th of January. Let's have a look at the Premier League table at that point. In the end, Chelsea came 6th, but they won the Europa League, so they've kept their place in the Champions League. So here we are, Chelsea. They were as low as that Leeds game. Chelsea were down in 8th. Pretty disappointing in comparison to previous years when they'd been coming 3rd and looked like they were improving. It looked like Thomas Tuchel had taken the club as far as he could. Although it was a slow start for Ten Hag, but then they slowly climbed the table up to 6th, which is the worst finish for a good few years. But that was the end for Thomas Tuchel. Did he sign anyone in his final year? We'll have a look. There's no point in looking at the players because it was only half the season Tuchel got. He signed Onana. They needed a goalkeeper. Hermoso, decent signing. Kumbula, another decent signing. So 2 new centre-backs. But Kurt Zouma was sold. Kai Havertz was sold for £103 million. Hudson-Odoi still hasn't broken through. Odriozola sold. Don't know why I put an accent on there. Mason Mount loaned out. Benjamin Mendy sold for a profit, so take back what I said. Tammy Abraham loaned out again. I mean, you can see why the Chelsea hierarchy fell out of love with Tuchel. He's kind of just ripped up the Chelsea team and not really done anything with it. So that was the end of Tuchel. Let's see if he's got a job since. Still unemployed. No one's after him. Another big club on the CV of Thomas Tuchel that has ended in disappointment. No trophies. That is a big shock. Let's see, have a look at Frank Lampard, see if he's anywhere. He's still unemployed. Has he managed anyone? No. Hasn't managed anyone since the heartbreak of Chelsea, but never mind. Unfortunate for him. But anyway, we will leave it there. So that is what will happen when Thomas Tuchel takes charge of Chelsea. 3 decent years, 2 decent years, a third year which was alright. No, the third year was quite good. He'll get the sack 3.5 years into the job and they won't win a single thing. But to be honest, will it even last that long? How it, man, it's Chelsea managers, man. They're more frequent than London buses. Is the London bus service frequent? I don't know. Either way, he's not going to last long. We will leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. As always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Elecspo. And until next time, we will see you around.